This is an intervention. For those of you out there with this whole lesser of two douchebags, vote for the lesser of two fucking retards, that shit doesn't fly with me anymore. I know I'm not alone on this one, but dude, that doesn't fly with me anymore. No more of this vote for me because I'm not her, vote for her because she's not him. No, you're going to have to come to the table with something a lot more substantial before I would even consider voting for you. Consider that you people on the left, all my leftist followers, all the people that are out there on the left. What has Koala told you that she's going to actually do? See, a bunch of you guys think she's going to usher in this new socialist utopia. What the fuck is she going to do? Serious, nothing. Is she going to seize all those houses from all those rent seekers and give away all their rental properties to the poor so that there was no more homelessness? Probably not. Fuck, she'd have my attention then, not because I think that would work, and not because I think that's a good idea, but because, you know, I have no real incentive to give a shit about rent seekers, and it'd be funny to watch. So, I mean, from an entertainment standpoint, I would be thoroughly entertained for that. So, and for you guys that think that the Orange Man is going to deport all the illegals, dude, do the math on that shit. There ain't no fucking way he's going to do that. I'm not talking about the math of like the physical deportations. Dude, he could put bounties on all of them and they'd all flee the country immediately. No, it's that if you actually got rid of all the H-1Bs, H-2Bs, which is what a lot of them are being given now, they're being given work visas. All the straight up illegals, all the thugs, all the people, you know, if you actually got rid of all those people, do you realize what would happen to real estate in this country? Do the math, dude. Fucking housing would collapse. No more $2,000 a month rents for rent seekers, dude. They'd be lucky to get $350 out of those places. Maybe $350 out of those places. And what does that mean? It means that all the banks that lent all that money to buy all those fucking buildings and to build all those fucking buildings, those banks then have a balance sheet that starts going negative. You think that the banks want to have negative fucking balance sheets? No, dude. And those are the people that have lent Trump a bunch of money to pretend he's a billionaire. So, dude, no, I mean, like, well, no, his assets are worth all that. Yeah, and he has to borrow against those to be able to actually have cash because he can't sell them for the prices that you guys seem to think that it's worth. Again, I'll hit you with both barrels right between the eyes on this one. Put that shit on eBay, 99 cents no reserve, cash only, and see what people pay for it. And you're going to find out that the appraised value and what someone actually will pay for it as far as utility or cash is going to be two completely fucking different things. I mean, it's one of the reasons why, like, bankers will do certain loans. They'll again, you know, the billionaire says, hey, I want to borrow money, and they'll say, yeah, sure, we'll do that deal, but you have to buy this property over here and pay this enormous amount of money for it for us to, in order for us to do this deal. Well, why is that? Well, it's to bring the comp values up. It's to artificially inflate comp values. That's what this is all. That's what all this shit is about. I mean, I don't think that a lot of you really understand how this game is played, and this is for people that are actually playing this game. You don't really understand where this stuff comes from. All these artificial fucking values. They have to have these values always going up. I've been over that probably fucking 24 times in the last month. So no, this is an intervention. Anybody out there thinking that you're going to vote for the lesser of two fucking douchebags, no. They got to come to the table with something a lot more substantial. You know, I would suggest this. Let me teach you something. I taught this a long time ago, but I'm going to teach you. I don't do a lot of teaching as much any longer because, frankly, I've already done all the teaching. You can go back to find the other fucking videos. But let me teach something here. When you negotiate a contract, let's say that you are a trucking company. I'll just use this. This is a good example. Let's say you own a trucking company, and you say, and a customer calls you and says, hey, come here and give us a quote. We want to know how much money you're going to charge us for this freight. And you show up and say, okay, well, let me ask you some questions. How long are you going to take to load those trucks? And they say, oh, we can have trucks loaded in an hour. Okay, really? All right, so you can have those trucks loaded in 1 hour, you're sure. So if I gave you an hour and 15 minutes, no problem, right? Guaranteed, then that would be more than enough time, right? Yeah, oh, absolutely. Okay, so at an hour and 16 minutes, I'm going to charge you $100 a minute for every minute after that, in 1 minute increments, that truck isn't loaded and back on the road. What do you think most companies would say? The guy negotiating for that company, what do you think he's going to say? He's going to go, well, hold on. No, you hold on. In other words, you had no intention of making good on your bullshit to have my trucks out of here in an hour, did you? So let's go back and talk. I'm not going to give you a price until we actually start getting honest with one another. And if you're going to be a lying sack of shit, then I'm not going to fucking trust you. I already don't trust you now because I know that I now know that you know nothing about your shipping department and the people that run it. Right? So now we have to start all over again. Well, when was the last time you negotiated like that with your politicians and said, okay, hey, Mr. Politician, man, you're talking a good game, or Giggles, or whatever the fuck her name is. Okay, you guys talk a really good fucking game. Are you willing to sign a contract in blood that says that, hey, if you don't do some of the shit that you're talking about, let's whittle it down to the top 5 big things, policy issues, that if you don't do these things, and we're going to define our terms and everything, we're going to like line this out, then, you're going to be just dragged to the gallows immediately by the American people. Not figuratively either. I mean, like actually, the carpenters can actually build a gallows and so forth, and we can go old west on this, the whole thing. That's what I'm talking about. And like full fucking Sergio Leone style, man. I mean, dude, no. When was the last time you negotiated like that? Probably never. And it's because you can always tell, as soon as you put teeth in something, you'll find out who actually has intention of following through on their bullshit. So, no, this nonsense about vote for the lesser of 2 fucking retards, no. They got to come to the table with something a hell of a lot more fucking substantial than the shit that I've seen out of either one of them.